Hey you guys, in this video we're going to talk about how I prepare for my Lotus home birth, and I want to make sure I touch on every topic and um, what made me decide to do it. So when I first decided to have a Lotus home birth, I knew it was going to be one of the most transformative experiences of my life. It wasn't just about bringing a baby into this world, it was about doing it on my own terms in a way that felt right for me. But let me tell you, it took a lot of preparation mentally, emotionally, and physically. And there was a lot of outside noise, but I still managed to ignore all that. So in this video, I'm basically just going to walk you guys through how I prepare for my Lotus home birth. I'll share how I got my mindset right, the practical steps I took to plan for, and how I handle all the opinions and doubts that came my way. Um, my hope is that my story will inspire you to trust yourself and create the birth experience that you want. And that if you don't have kids or are planning to have kids and you're looking for other people's journey and you want to use that to decide if to see how other people journeys went to see if you want to do a home birth. So I'm just here to just talk about my experience and what my first home birth was like. So, first, let's talk about mindset preparation. Um, first, let's talk about mindset. For me, this was the foundation of everything. Because society often makes us question our abilities as a woman to birth naturally. You hear things like, "Are you sure it's safe?" or "What if something goes wrong?" Those thoughts can creep into your doubt. But me, I've already, me as who I am, I've already weighed out, oh, what if something happens? What if it doesn't? But I don't think negative. So I'm not looking for nothing negative to happen because I'm manifesting something positive to happen and a positive outcome. And plus, I'm taking care of my body and doing what I need to do. And I know my body and I know my health, you know? So to overcome that, I started reminding myself daily that my body was made for this. I use positive affirmations like my body knows exactly what it needs to do and I trust God's design. And I said these every morning and it helped me stay focused. I also leaned into prayer and meditation. So whenever I feel anxious or overwhelmed, I take a moment to breathe deeply, pray, and picture myself holding my baby in a calm, peaceful space. And it just brought me back to the original plan, which was to do a home birth. um, there was a moment though when I almost gave in to fear. Someone close to me shared a negative story about a home birth, and it shook me for a second. But instead of letting it get to me, I reminded myself why I chose this path and who I was doing it for, me and my baby. And that clarity really kept me grounded because their experience is not going to be my experience. And we're two different people with two different lifestyles. We eat different things, we consume different things. So it's not like that I thought I was better than them. It's just that I know my body, but why try to put that fear into me? You know what I'm saying? Like people love to do that because their experience didn't go wrong. So you really have to be strong up here to not allow that to happen. So that clarity really kept me grounded. Two, so planning the birth. Now let's get into planning that part. Preparing for a Lotus home birth involves more than just having a baby at home. It's about creating an environment where you feel safe and supported, and you have to make sure that, for me is my number one thing is I have OCD, so my place has to be clean. It's all about being sanitary. It's all about being peace and just everything that's around you, including to the colors in the room, the wall, the noise, what's going on, the people that I have around me, what I'm listening to, what I'm eating. All those things come into play and actually making that birth plan. Yeah, so like I said, preparing for a Lotus home birth involves more than just having a baby at home. It's about creating an environment where you feel safe and supported. One of the first things I did was create a birth plan. I wrote down everything that I envisioned, from the mood I wanted in the room to the supplies I need. Speaking of supplies, I've gathered everything early, like my herbs, my essential oils, and items for the Lotus process, like a special bowl for the placenta, which I then later decided to use a bag. Well, to use these Medline blue things that I'm gonna show you guys in a second. Well, you know those Medline blue pad things that you lay on the bed. I use one of those, and I put the placenta down in there, and then I place the herbs like every 3 to 4 days on there, and it was mostly um, pink Himalayan salt, rose petals, calendula. I think I had some rosemary in there, some thyme, and I had some other stuff in there that I can't think of right now, but in my urban mix to go on the thing. But the main thing that you need for the placenta is going to be the pink Himalayan salt, which is going to actually dry out the placenta. Now the rose petals and the calendula, I hope I'm saying it right. Those actually help to keep the smell like fresh and things like that. Now, I know people are going to like ask, well, what did you do with it? Did you keep the placenta? Did you eat it? So we're going to talk about that in another video. But so I gathered everything early: my herbs, my essential oils, the items for the Lotus process, like the placenta bag. So I put it in the blue bag, the little blue Medline bag, and then I put the herbs on it, and then I put that bag inside the placenta bag, and then I kept it tied and I kept it close to my baby because it takes like a week or two for it to fall off. It doesn't take that long. And I also made sure my space felt peaceful. I decluttered my area. I added like a soft lighting, and even picked a playlist for calming music that I never got to use. But I was still prepared, needless to say. But let me be real. Things didn't go perfectly how I planned it because I wanted to record it and do things a certain way. But so keep this in mind, no matter how much you prepare and plan, that doesn't mean that things are going to always go as planned. So you have to have like backup plan, or just really know what you're doing to when doing a home birth, just in case said a plan doesn't work out. Like me, in my case, I didn't plan to go into labor because I was in labor that whole day for my son's birthday. It was I think it was his like fifth birthday or something like that, and we literally walked around the whole store because I went to go pick up his cake, and the whole day. We did everything under the sun, and I even walked around the whole store cramping. I knew I was getting close to going to labor because when I was walking through the store, I felt like cramping, a little bit of cramping, and then it started getting intense, and they started getting close together. And we were good. We went home. We unpacked his toys. We were opening presents for his birthday. Things like that. Boys were playing, running around. So him and his brother were just playing and running around. And then when they finally went to sleep, about 1 or 2, I just kept getting up, going to the bathroom. It would constantly feel like I had to pee. Next thing you know, I just feel like I need to take my pants off, and I was just like sitting over the toilet. And after that, I just like started walking around, started just doing stuff because I was laying down, but it got to the point where I couldn't lay down in the position I was in with the babies laying on top of me, so I had to make myself get up. So I started walking around, and then, I just did that for maybe 1 or 2 hours, and I laid back down and I got back up. And then next thing you know, I felt like I started kind of getting like a hot flash, but I didn't feel like going to get the water because it was just like, yeah, I didn't feel like going to get the water at the time because I was just like focused on like, okay, I'm gonna breathe through. And it's all about breathing. When you're having those contractions, do not hold your breath, because when you hold your breath, you're going to make those contractions hurt even worse. So it's a mindset thing. again, it's a mindset thing. But I felt the urge to lay down in the tub, so I asked his dad to turn on the shower, and he turned on the shower for me. And soon as I got those hot flashes and asked him to turn on the shower, and the water just like went on my back, he said he seen my water break, like it literally shot out. And then next thing you know, I just squat down. I was just squatting down in the tub, and then I started pushing, and then he was out, and then we laid down. I laid down in the tub with the baby, um, and we like just wiped him off a little bit, and then after that, a little bit, not that long after, probably about 30 minutes after, um, well, about I could say about 15 to 20 minutes after, I stood back up, and then I started. I got in this one weird position where, because your body will naturally tell you what to do, and I started pushing out the placenta, and so that's how I got the placenta. So, back to the story, but yeah, I also made sure my space felt peaceful. I decluttered my area. I had the lighting and even like had the playlist, but I didn't get to use that because I wasn't thinking about no playlist. I was like, my baby about to come, so we about to push this baby out. Um, but like I said, things didn't go perfectly as planned or how I imagined it because I wanted to do the birth pool thing, and I didn't know I was gonna have him. So I actually had my baby the next. I was in labor the whole day of my son's birthday, and I actually had him the next day on the 27th, at like 3 or 4 in the morning. So, like I said, things didn't go perfectly as planned. There were moments when I realized I'd forgotten something or I had to adjust my plan. And I told you guys the adjustments. For example, I thought I would want a lot of people around, but as the day got closer, I realized I needed to be more intimate and I want to just do it by myself. And I actually birthed, I didn't have a midwife, I didn't have a doula because I believe like once you have a baby, you're a midwife, you're a doula. You know what I'm saying? But so I was my own doula, and his father was there. It was his first experience, and it's my first experience as well. We did it together, and and I told him like he was comfortable. Like I got him prepared as well because it's important to get your partner prepared as well. So I got him prepared for the home birth and things like that. And I just called him over. I was like, okay, I'm about to start pushing. And, when I started pushing and he seen him come out, seeing him started coming out, he actually caught him. So, yeah. But my advice is to start early, do your research, and remember, flexibility is key. Number 3, handling outside opinions. This part was probably the hardest for me because dealing with other people's opinions, not everyone understood my choice. And I got a lot of, is that even safe? Why would you do that? What if your baby dies? What if you bleed out? Yada, yada, yada. This and that and the third, because, our people are so used to going to the hospital or doing it so close-minded. But, yeah. And then it came to a point where they would throw shots at me or would just be jealous even after the fact that I did it. Like, just say little stuff like, but I ignored all that. And we're going to talk about that in another video as well. So at first I felt the need to defend myself, but over time I realized I didn't owe anyone any explanation. Instead, I focused on educating the people who genuinely wanted to understand and set boundaries with those who didn't. So that's how we got rid of them. So out with the negativity and with the positivity positive vibes only. And one thing that helped was reminding myself that their doubts had nothing to do with me, but a lot to do with like people feel what they don't understand. You know what I'm saying? So that's pretty much what that was. So I feel like, me personally, I feel like if you're considering a Lotus home birth or any non-traditional choice, my advice is this: stay true to yourself, your body, your baby, and your decision. I'm going to say this again. If you're considering a Lotus home birth or any non-traditional choice, my advice is this: stay true to yourself. It's your body, your baby, and your choice. And definitely your decision. So at the end of the day, you don't need anyone else's approval. And if you have a plan and that's what you want to do, carry out that plan. Forget what the naysayers say. So, to wrap this up, I want to remind you of the three things that helped me the most. Getting my mindset right and trusting my body. Two was planning the details and early and staying flexible. Three was standing strong in my decision no matter what others thought. And if you're on this journey, know that you're not alone. Your birth experience can be as unique and beautiful as you envision it, but you have to trust yourself, prepare, and embrace the journey. It's worth it. Also, if you found this helpful or want to share your own experience, drop a comment below and don't forget to like this video and subscribe for more content about motherhood and personal growth. Thanks so much for watching, and thank you. Until next time. Bye, you guys.